Everybody, and welcome back on Lit Up with Danny. In this session, we are going to talk about the next literary critic, which is Longinus. He is also known as Pseudo-Longinus, and he was a Greek literary critic and a philosopher who lived sometime between the 1st and the 3rd centuries. We don't know the exact date. He is traditionally attributed as the author of On the Sublime. So, this is the main treatise. This is the main work that we are going to talk about while talking about the criticism of Longinus. But we are not sure that On the Sublime was written by Longinus or not. But it is attributed to Longinus. And it is also often referred to as perihypsos in Greek, which is one of the most influential texts in the history of literary criticism. On the Sublime explores the concept of sublimity or grandeur in literature and provides insight into the qualities that elevate a text to the level of sublime. तो जो मेन बात है जब हम Longinus की बात कर रहे हैं तो on the sublime है, and sublimity is the major word that we have to focus on. What is sublime or sublimity? Sublime is when something affects you to a level of transporting you to another level. Have you seen that ad? अमूल की एक ad आती है, अमूल I think लस्सी की. उसमें बहुत सारे लोग हैं जो बात कर रहे हैं कि how is it? One of the characters says, oh, sublime. So they are talking about that the taste कि इतना अच्छा है कि it transcends you to another level. तो वही है sublime literature में कि एक ऐसा text जिसको पढ़ के आप बस कहीं और एक transport हो जाओ कहीं और खो जाओ. You are elevated to that level. So that is the concept that this work explores. And grandeur, grand in literature, and provides insight into the qualities that ऐसी कौन सी qualities, अब आप खुद सोचो ऐसी कौन सी qualities हैं एक text में जो एक text को sublime बना सकती हैं. अगर आप बहुत बड़े एक elaborate बहुत flowery language use करोगे तो क्या वो sublime बनाएंगे text को? समझ ही नहीं आएगा तो फिर कैसे sublimity achieve होएगी, है ना? तो लॉन्जाइनस ऐसी भी बहुत सारी चीज़ों की बात करते हैं कि जिससे एक ऑथर सब्लिमिटी खो सकता है या फिर फॉल्ट्स जो अवॉइड करना है ताकि आप सब्लिमिटी अचीव कर पाओ. तो ऐसी कौन सी चीज़ें जो नहीं करनी है उनकी भी बात लॉन्जाइनस ने की है. देन ही हैज़ ऑल्सो टॉक्ड अबाउट सोर्सेज ऑफ सब्लिमिटी कि ऐसी कौन सी चीज़ें हैं जहाँ से जो यूज़ करके आप सब्लिमिटी अचीव कर सकते हो. तो ये है लॉन्जाइनस का लिटरेरी क्रिटिसिज्म on the sublime. The concept of sublimity. Longinus defines sublimity as the highest degree of excellence in writing. He suggests that sublime writing has the power to transport and elevate the reader, filling them with a sense of awe and wonder. मतलब मज़ा आ गया पढ़ के ऐसा कुछ. Sublime qualities. Longinus identifies several qualities that contribute to sublimity, included एलिवेटेड एंड नोबल थॉट. देखो अगर आपका थॉट बहुत अच्छा होगा, एक बड़ा थॉट होगा, कुछ एलिवेटेड थॉट होगा तो वो रीडर को भी अच्छा लगेगा ना पढ़ के कि वाह ऐसे निकले मुंह से. सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट दिस नोबल थॉट. स्ट्रॉन्ग एंड पैशनेट इमोशन कि ऑथर शुड हैव द कैपेसिटी टू फिल इन दैट पैशन इन द वर्क. That it should be filled with passionate emotion so that when the reader is reading, the reader also feels those heavy emotions. The use of grand and vivid imagery or figure of speeches और ये सब आप कैसा imagery use कर रहे हो. Ability to evoke a sense of admiration कि पढ़ने वाले को लगे यार पसंद आ जाए, एक sense of admiration evoke हो. And reverence in the reader. So these are some of the qualities that contribute to sublimity. What is the role of the author? Role of author काफ़ी main है यहाँ पे. So Longinus emphasizes the importance of the author's own character and emotions in creating sublime work. अब आप ये भी बोल सकते हो ना कि यार ऑथर ने तो बहुत अच्छा लिख दिया, लेकिन रीडर, see, this is just one thing that I am saying, that what I feel, there is a possibility that reader does not have those the capability to understand those emotions. तो फिर सब्लिमिटी क्रिएट नहीं होएगी, बट उसमें ऑथर की कोई गलती नहीं है. सो रोल ऑफ ऑथर इज इम्पॉर्टेंट इन व्हाट सेंस दैट ऑथर का जो अपना कैरेक्टर है वो भी होना चाहिए ऐसा कि वो स्ट्रॉन्ग इमोशंस डाल सके एक वर्क में. ही बिलीव्स दैट एन ऑथर्स सिंसियरिटी, पैशन एंड पर्सनल एंगेजमेंट विद द सब्जेक्ट मैटर कैन इन्फ्यूज अ वर्क विद सब्लिमिटी. सो ऑथर हैज टू बी personally attached with the work, according to Longinus. Author has to be very sincere, very passionate, and should have this personal engagement with the subject matter so that sublimity can be achieved. Then he also talks about imitation of great authors. Horace ने भी बात किया था. Longinus encourages writers to study and emulate the works of great authors of the past. ये तो है कि पास्ट में जितने भी अच्छे ऑथर्स रहे हैं आप उसको पढ़ के सीख सकते हो. ही बिलीव्स दैट बाय इमिटेटिंग द ग्रैंड्योर एंड एक्सीलेंस ऑफ एस्टैब्लिश्ड लिटरेरी मास्टर्स, राइटर्स कैन एनहांस देयर ओन वर्क, राइट. रिटोरिकल टेक्निक्स, तो इन्होंने फिगर ऑफ स्पीचेस की भी बात की है, रिटोरिकल टेक्निक्स की बात की है. ही डिस्कसेस वेरियस रिटोरिकल टेक्निक्स दैट कैन कॉन्ट्रीब्यूट टू सब्लिमिटी, इंक्लूडिंग द यूज ऑफ मेटाफर्स, amplification, that is expanding upon a point, expand करना एक point को, and hyperbole, that is exaggeration, एक चीज़ को बढ़ा चढ़ा के बोलना, बात की है इन्होंने. Then balance and harmony, while celebrating the grand and sublime. See, you are putting noble thought into a work, you are putting grand thought into the work, you are celebrating that. He recognizes that it is important to have balance and harmony in literature. He advises against excessive ornamentation. कि आप बहुत ornamented language यूज़ करोगे, बहुत बड़े बड़े words, verbosity यूज़ करोगे, तो वो एक distraction बन सकता है readers के लिए, and it can detract from overall effect. Effect on the reader. A work of the sublime has the power to move and transform the reader. बहुत बार अगर आपने कोई ऐसा वर्क पढ़ा है जिसने आपको बहुत इन्फ्लुएंस किया, आपका थॉट प्रोसेस उस वर्क को पढ़ के एक नई डायरेक्शन पकड़ लिया, तो ये एक काम एक सब्लाइम वर्क ही कर सकता है. तो अ सब्लाइम वर्क हैज़ द पावर टू मूव अस and transform the readers. It has the ability to transport the audience to a higher plane of thought and emotion. Longinus suggests that sublime writing has a lasting impact on its audience, inspiring them and filling them with a sense of awe. You know, you must have heard this, that literature students are, in most cases, better able to understand emotions or better able to have a broader perspective to the world. Why is it? Because of literature, of course, because we read, and we read so many new things every day. You know, you read so many stories every day, you read so many theories every day, that your mind expands. It incorporates so many new things. Some of the works transport you to a different level of thought altogether. We read so many philosophies, so many metaphors. अब हमने cave theory उसका वो पढ़ा था प्लेटो का. It opens up our mind to so many new things, right? It inspires us. It fills us with a sense of awe. As I told you, he identifies several faults and pitfalls also that can detract the achievement of sublimity. What are those? Let's see. Overuse of figures of speech. यूज़ करना है but in a balanced way. Don't overuse it. Inconsistent tone. एक वर्क में consistency of tone is very important. बहुत हाई चले जाना, बहुत लो चले जाना एक ही वर्क में in terms of tone is not suitable. Incongruity. It occurs when there is a mismatch between style or language used and the subject matter or the emotional context. So many people have said this, that सब्जेक्ट कुछ और है, सब्जेक्ट मैटर कुछ और है, लैंग्वेज कंप्लीटली डिफरेंट यूज़ हो रही है. सब्जेक्ट मैटर एक लोकल सेटिंग का है, लैंग्वेज यूज्ड इज एक्सट्रीमली हाई. It is a mismatch, incongruity. Longinus advises that the style should be appropriate and fitting for the content. Incongruity can diminish the sublime effect. Then inconsistency in language again, verbosity, बहुत बड़े बड़े words use करना, failure to engage the reader's emotions. आप engage नहीं कर पा रहे readers के साथ, अपनी audience के साथ. Lack of sincerity and lack of originality. So these are some of the points on which Longinus says that you can detract the audience and it can spoil the work and it will not reach sublimity. Then this is very important. He says that there are 5 principal sources of sublime. Main, he has talked about more, but there are 5 principal sources. The first one is grandeur of thought. Now, what is grandeur of thought? As I said, thought एक grand होना चाहिए. So I'll just read one quote. For sublimity is the echo of greatness of soul. Sublimity greatness of soul से achieve होती है. It is impossible for those whose whole lives are full of mean and servile ideas and habits to produce anything that is admirable and worthy of an immortal life. तो अगर कोई एक ऐसा इंसान है जिसकी लाइफ मीननेस से भरी हुई है और सर्वाइल आइडियाज़ हैबिट्स से भरी हुई है, तो उस इंसान के लिए बहुत इम्पॉसिबल हो जाएगा टू प्रोड्यूस एनीथिंग विच इज़ एडमायरेबल. इट इज़ ओनली नेचुरल दैट ग्रेट एक्सेंट्स शुड फॉल अपॉन द लिप्स ऑफ दोज whose thoughts have always been deep and full of majesty. तो जो फर्स्ट 2 पॉइंट्स है ना, दे आर एक्चुअली नेचुरल. लास्ट के 3 आर can be achieved. So he says that it is in the nature की great accents should fall upon those lips. उन्हीं को आएगा ये thought, great thought, जिनके life जो है it is always full of, it has been deep and it has been full of majesty. ठीक है. Next point is capacity for strong emotions. Very easily understandable, right? So you should have that capacity for strong emotions. And in this point only, Longinus prefers the Iliad to the Odyssey and Demosthenes to Cicero in terms of emotions. Next point is appropriate use of figures. Schemata भी बोलते हैं इसको. Figures of speech occupy the largest space, and in fact 1/3 of the treatise is full of this only when he talks about appropriate use of figures. It is not surprising Longinus's primary concern is oratory, in which a happy or unhappy use of figures of speech makes all the difference. But he considers them chiefly for the part they play in producing grandeur. Appropriate use of figures of speech can produce greatness, grandeur, with their effects. And he has also talked about chief figures which make for sublimity. First one is rhetorical question. क्या होता है rhetorical question? कोई ऐसा question जिसका जवाब question पूछने वाले को पता हो. जैसे अगर मैं आपको बोलूँ, आप लोग पढ़ रहे हो ना, this is the question, but I know that you will say yes, we are studying. That's a rhetorical question. Second, he talks about asyndeton. ASYNDETON. What is asyndeton? Asyndeton होता है जिसमें जैसे आप बहुत सारे क्लॉजेज यूज़ कर रहे हो, लेकिन आप उनको कनेक्टिंग वर्ड्स यूज़ नहीं करोगे. कनेक्टिंग वर्ड्स क्या होते हैं? एंड, और, मतलब कनेक्टर्स जो होते हैं वो यूज़ ना करके सीधा, जैसे मैं एग्जांपल देती हूँ, 5/6 repealed, abandoned, sunk, gone, lost forever. Did you see what happened here? There was no connecting word used. जैसे 5/6 repealed and abandoned and sunk. No. Abandoned, sunk, gone, lost forever. तो ऐसे क्या होता है? इफेक्ट ज़्यादा पड़ता है. That is asyndeton. Third is, he talks about hyperbaton. Hyperbaton. What is hyperbaton? Inversion of the normal order of words. जैसे एक सेंटेंस है नॉर्मल, उसके वर्ड्स को उल्टा फुल्टा करके बोल देना. सजेस्टिव ऑफ अ डिसऑर्डर्ड अटरेंस. उससे क्या होगा, आपको पता चलेगा कि ओके जो बोलने वाला है वो शायद घबराया हुआ है या कुछ भी, टू प्रोड्यूस वन पर्टिकुलर काइंड ऑफ एन इफेक्ट. अगर हम एग्जाम्पल लें तो मैकडफ, शेक्सपियर के मैकबेथ में मैकडफ बोलता है, ओ हॉरर हॉरर हॉरर, टंग नॉर हार्ट कैनॉट कंसीव नॉर नेम दी. ठीक है, Act 2 Scene 3. So this is the example of hyperbaton. And last, he talks about periphrasis. Periphrasis. Now what is this? घुमा फिरा के चीज़ों को बोलना, डायरेक्ट नहीं बोलना, किसी एक चीज़ को बड़ा सराउंड करके घुमा फिरा के उस चीज़ को बोलना. So these are the 4 figures that he talks about chiefly. Rhetorical question, asyndeton, hyperbaton, periphrasis. Remember. Next is nobility in diction. So what is nobility in diction? कि आपने language पे ध्यान देना है. You have to pay attention to the diction, which comprises of proper use of words, use of metaphors, use of ornamented language, all of these things. ठीक है? And then he talks about dignity of composition. Basically first 4 points का mixture, कि पूरा जो composition बनेगा आपका, जो पूरा text बनेगा, the arrangement of the words should be very good. Dignity of composition. It should be one that blends thought, emotions, figures and words themselves. The preceding 4 elements of sublimity. Okay? So these are the 5 principal sources of the sublime. And this is it actually about Longinus's literary criticism on the sublime. I hope this is clear. I will see you in the next session. Till then, please share this video and the other videos with your friends and please subscribe to the channel. Thank you. See you.